What's up, resellers? I'm Rebecca, and you're watching Rebecca the Reseller. Thank you for joining me today for another Poshmark closet review. I am so excited and love doing all of these. I'm so grateful that I have had a couple to do recently, and I'm excited to share it with you. So this particular closet review is for Tina. Her closet is at Tina Butter, and I appreciate you and the support of my small business by purchasing one. I'm excited to share what I have for you. Overall, I thought you had a great closet, but I do think that there are some things that we can improve upon, and I'm looking forward to getting into that with you. For those that are watching at home, if you are interested in purchasing a custom closet review for yourself, they are linked down below in my Etsy shop where I have all of my reseller tools, so please consider checking that out if you would like one for yourself. So, where I like to start always is with the closet name. So Tina, you have your name, Tina there, which is great. And then you have your username. So my recommendation for most people that don't have this is to start off your name field with an exclamation point, and that will bring your name up higher into the search results for followers. So if you click on followers, the people that have exclamation points in their name show up at the top. And so when people go to just kind of mindlessly go through and follow people, you will get more followers because you are at the top of the list, and most of the time people don't go all the way down to the bottom. So if you start your name off with an exclamation point, it may help you get more followers. Is that the end all be all of life? No, but it can't hurt. So I always make that recommendation. Your banner looks lovely. When I looked at it on my phone and then also on the computer, it says love. And so the only thing I would say is, because it is a really pretty graphic, if you can, I did a header video where you can resize it. You may want to resize it, but on the phone it did look nice and small. So just because it's large on the screen here, that it looks stretched out. But otherwise, I think it's nice. I think it's great that you have Posh Ambassador and Fast Shipper listed in your information line. You may want to consider how many listings you've sold. If you've sold over 100 listings, if you've sold over 1,000 listings, whatever, you may want to put that there as well, just to let people know that you have a track record. So not only are you a Posh Ambassador and a Fast Shipper, but you've sold X amount of listings. That might make people feel good to know. Your avatar is so cool. I love this. It's like it's not really a caricature, but it's an illustration of, I'm assuming, you, and it looks great. I love it. So that's a really, really cool thing, because it lets people know that they're buying from a person when you have a picture rather than a logo. Now, I do a logo. I like that. I've experimented. I've put my picture up. I have used a logo. So, either way, I just like having the logo. Either way is fine. I think as long as it's a good picture, this is a cool graphic, that's great. So you don't have any links in there, that's fine. You don't need to have a link. If you have nothing to link to, that is okay. All-time number of listings, you're at 1,430, which is amazing, fantastic. I love to see that. So you're over 1,000. That really does let people know, like, you've been doing this, you know what you're doing, and so that is good. So perhaps make a goal or a milestone for yourself of 2,000 so that you have something to look forward to as you increase your listings and sales. Obviously, an increase in listings will end up with an increase in sales, hopefully. So my goal for people is always to just really think about, are you getting the amount of sales that you want? If not, increase your listings. And you don't have to do it overnight with a huge jump. You can increase by 2 or 3, 1 or 2 over time. So for me, I set up a plan where I'm listing 10 a day right now. And next month in March, I'm going to list 12 a day. And then in April, I'm going to list 15 a day. And I'm going to keep going until I get to 25 a day. But over a monthly basis, I'm increasing by 2 or 3. And so that's a really incremental way to do it. So if you want to increase your sales, increase your listings. Very general, we know this. So for shares, you have 271,000 community shares. I wrote here, that is a lot. So this is a summary that I'm going through. So I don't recommend community sharing as a way to help build your business. If you just want to be a nice person and spend a little time from time to time sharing other people's stuff, that's fine. I'm not going to take that away from you and say don't do it at all. but know that it's not going to help your business at all. And so I am a big proponent of doing the things that will help your business, which I've shared with you here, like sharing your own items, revising, relisting, listing, sending offers, making bundles, running a sale, or sourcing more inventory. So those are all the things that you should be doing first. Put on your own oxygen mask first, then put on an oxygen mask for someone else. Along those same lines, you have 109,000 followers to your 503,000 following. So you're following basically 5 times more than your followers. And that's fine. I mean, the ratio does not really matter, and followers don't really matter. We all know this, I think, at this point. But if you want to gain followers, and sometimes, I've said this before, sometimes I just like to mindlessly share, or not mindlessly follow. Like, I'll just go in if I have a minute, I'm watching TV, and I'll just follow new people, because sometimes I think it's nice to, maybe get a fresh infusion of people looking at your closet. Does it do anything? I don't know, but I even do it sometimes. But I don't do it to the point where it's taking away from other sales generating activities. So whether this is something that you're doing now or something you used to do, I just use it to make the point that please don't try to go following a lot of people just to get followers as a business strategy. There's lots of other things that you can do that are more important. You were recently active. So that is good. When I looked at it earlier, when I made up the summary, you were last active in the hour. So here now it says last active hours ago. So do keep that in mind. It's not like you have to set a timer for yourself and pop in every hour, but I will say people may look at that and say, okay, hours ago, when is she going to come on again? For me, I feel like mine would probably always say last active this hour. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe mine does say hours ago sometimes. I'm not sure. But I do think that there's a difference between last active this hour and hours ago. So just make sure you pop in as often as you can, just so it registers and lets your buyers know that you are an active posher. For your ship time, love notes are in quantity and quality great. You have received well over 100, which is fantastic, and they all seem to be very nice. I didn't go through all of them. I went through some of them. Average ship time is perfect. Same day. Yes, you rock. You've had over 100 sales and somehow you've been able to manage same day average ship time. I think that's fantastic. So great for you. For me, it's like 1.2 or something like that. I don't think I've ever gotten it less than that. Maybe for a short time. I usually do same or next day. So I think that's great. Keep that up for as long as you can. That makes a huge difference to people because they want to know that you're going to ship that item in a timely manner. You have been poshing for almost 2 years, and I think based on the closet stats and kind of going through everything, I think you're in great shape for poshing in for less than 2 years. So I think that's wonderful as well. Going back to the closet, I didn't see any closet signs, and closet signs are one of those things that I like to talk about. So I have a couple things to say. So I think you should have, at the very minimum, a bookmark sign. I think there should be something, whether you use this cool graphic of you, the cool graphic in your banner, make it that says, welcome to Tina Butter, welcome to my store, offers are welcome, I'm a fast shipper, I'm a Poshmark ambassador, just something that says like to bookmark this listing so you can find my closet again. It's just up there as a little welcome sign as your first listing whenever you can. I think that would be really great. I do have a video on how you can make signs in Over and Typorama if you want to know about that. And then I do have a link in the summary here so you can check out my bookmark sign as well. Now, as far as the brands go, for your mix and size, you have a lot of different sizes, so that's great. Wide array of sizes will bring in all kinds of customers, so I love that. But I do feel like in general your brands kind of skew on the lower end, less desirable. I kind of sorted by high to low. I sorted by just in. I sorted a few different ways just to get a really good glimpse because you do have a lot of listings. And there's, some tried and true things like J. Crew. You've got some Talbots. You've got some good things in here. You have a lot of great shoes. But, then there's W5 Concepts. There's Liz Claiborne. There's Paper Crane, Poof. There's just a lot of items where it's like, is someone going to buy it? Maybe. Is someone looking for that particular thing? Probably not. And so you have a lot of listings like this. And so I just wonder if they're kind of dragging things down. You're spending a lot of time sharing your items. You've been going through, we're going to talk about how you make your photos nice and bright. There's a lot of things that you're doing. I know you're really trying. I can see it in your closet. You have a lot of items that are just like, ugh. And I'm not judging that, because I've been there. We've all been there. We've all gotten free inventory. We've all, in the beginning, sourced things that were, not the greatest things to source. But I say this to you so that you can focus on more desirable brands, more well-known brands, more widely recognized brands, brands that will sell for a higher dollar amount. I don't know everything about your closet, but I do hope that you will be bringing in better items and specifically sourcing for better items based on the brand. I gave you some tips in here about how you can challenge yourself and where you can look for, these kinds of brands to get more familiar with them. But I can't judge someone's sourcing because I don't know what you have available to you. So it is difficult. I definitely recognize that. But I just want to say it because I really feel like you're doing a lot of things right. And I think you can only do so much right with poof. Like, you can only do so much right with paper crane. You can only do so much right with certain brands because it's only ever going to yield you so much. So even if you make the most amazing listing with the most amazing photos and description, it may not work for you, and you're spending a lot of time sharing these items and doing all this stuff. So let's try to upgrade and level up our brands. Now, as far as product mix, item type, and style, I did see some dated things. I saw some things that I'm like, it's an older style, or it's maybe I don't want to say cheap, but less expensive looking style. And so you just want to be careful with that because yes, there's a buyer for everything and the clock is right twice a day and all of that kind of thing. But for your time and effort in sourcing it, prepping it, listing it, photographing all these things, sharing again and again, is that something that you want to be trying your luck at and storing until somebody decides to buy it? And then when it does sell, hopefully, at what price? Because that's something you need to look at. But you do have a great selection of items. You got lots of shoes. And I was going to say, like, if shoes is your thing, not a lot of people don't do shoes. Like, I don't do shoes. I wish I could do shoes, but I don't want to store them. I don't want to clean them. I don't want to deal with shoes. And so that might be a way where if you're not finding great clothing, but you can find great shoes, maybe you focus on shoes. You have a lot of jeans. Jeans seem to be good sellers for you when I looked at your solds. You may want to focus on more jeans. So these are things we can keep talking about. But all seasons, all categories, you have a very diversified closet, which I liked. I didn't notice any prohibited items, so that's good. So I do think sourcing is an area that we need to talk about, but or that you need to improve upon. But as far as the photos go, I thought in general you had a really good presentation. Now these might be, maybe you're sharing right now, because these look like some of the items that were down more when I was looking at this before. So here we have some presentation issues because you have it on the mannequin and it's in front of a white paper, but then you could also see the wall here in this LeBlanca. Like, that's kind of a snafu there. We don't want to do that. This one over here as well, you can see the corner. It's not, not the greatest. But there were, here we go, like London Times, I can tell you did, a photo room or something on that where you took out the background. And those were the ones that I was seeing at the top when I looked earlier. This was the top of your closet when I looked earlier. So all of these things here was what I saw initially. And so at the top, it was this, and then at the bottom was the ones that had some presentation issues. So you're taking out the background, you're trying to make them bright, you're trying to make them look as presentable as possible, and I can see that. I can tell that you're trying and to make them look as great as possible. So that's good. So I felt like having bright photos, having the background removed really made a difference compared to those other listings. And so I encourage you to do it for all of the listings that you want to keep in your store, with the caveat of, I don't think you should keep all these items in your store. I think you should run a 5 for $25 or some kind of sale like that where you really clearance out a lot of these lower end brands, and then you don't try to fix the photos, because again, how much is it going to sell for? Poof, you only have listed for $9, I think, to begin with. So how much are you possibly going to sell it for to go back, fix the photos, and continue to share that item? I think you should sell it on a sale, or you need to take it out of your closet altogether, because you're trying to make this work. I can tell, like, you're putting in the time and effort, and so you just want to be mindful of those kinds of things. So in general, I did think that your photos were bright. I liked the background removal on that, but decide what is worth it to do versus not. I also I'm partial to hanging versus the mannequin. You had some items that were hanging, some that were on the mannequin, and some were flat lay. I like hanging the best. That's my personal preference. I know this. So see what you think works for you. Mannequins can be time consuming, and on a top, like, this is a Patagonia top. It's a Patagonia top. Like, it's not going to look that much crazy different on or hanging on the wall. So if something is needing a mannequin, put on the mannequin. But if not, save the time and effort and just hang it up. That's my thought. There are some, yeah, so this was where I said, so there is some that the setup doesn't look so nice. And that was the ones I was referring to at the top of your closet, where like you can see the background is kind of like kooky here, and you know, that's not the greatest. So if we can clean those up, if it's something like the Lucky brand, keep those. Lucky brand is good. Fix the background on that. Those are going to be just fine. The express dress you could keep, that's fine, you know, but this Cuffy's Cape Cod Ocean Wash women's t-shirt, do you need that in your store? I don't know. Maybe somebody wants that, maybe they don't, I don't know. But then maybe don't fix that photo and just put that on a 5 for $25 sale or something like that. Okay, lighting, I thought that most of your photos were nice and bright, and a great job on that. As far as the number of photos and like photo details and tags and things like that, you took a ton of photos. On all the listings that I clicked in, there were lots and lots of photos. So great job on showing all of the details. I put, you are giving your buyer confidence that what they see is what they get. Great job on this. For pricing, I actually thought overall your pricing was pretty good for the items that you have. Be always sure to leave a little room for offers and sales. Like, I think that you are not one of those people that prices a lower end item at a crazy high price. So I'm really happy that, you know, this New York & Company jean skirt, $18, that's good. London Times might be a little high for that dress, but Michael Kors top is $25, Lucky Brand jeans $20, Express dress $20. I think a lot of your prices are right on. 18 for Massimo, we'll see. 19 though for Liz Claiborne, that's good. So I feel like, you know, the 19 for the American Eagle, I thought that was good. So I think your pricing is actually really very good. Your titles are great. You have lots of keywords. They're all filled up. You have the right things in there. I, for Poshmark, don't put women's. Like here you have Liz Claiborne women's velour feel button up top. You know, I don't put women's because it's going to be covered in the, you know, category and things like that. I don't use my characters up for that, but it's not going to hurt. And if you also cross post to eBay, I know that people want to obviously have women's in there for eBay, things like that. So that's fine. But if you're not on eBay, you may want to forego the women's and use those characters for something else. But we do know that you get lots of extra characters in the description, and we will talk about that. So if you are ever looking for more keywords, I did put the link here to my keywords video and my keywords list in the Etsy shop if you're interested in that. Description length. So here's where we got into a little bit. Now, I'm trying to think of some of the things that I clicked in before just so I can like be consistent. So this was one of them. The Club Monaco Brina black and white skirt. So you knew what it was. Your photos look good. You've got lots of photos. The title is fine. Okay. Then we get into the description here. And so it's with a lot of line breaks. And so I wanted to talk about that first because Poshmark recently came out and this forced me to change how I do my descriptions. They said that many line breaks in your description are not good for SEO, that it should be more of a paragraph or sentence. So for me, I don't know that I necessarily write sentences, but I make it more of a long line with commas separating keywords, and then I'll have some sentences in there. And so it's not so many like enter, line break, line break, line break. It's more of a paragraph look, and then maybe a line break, and then my buyer confidence line. So I think you should benefit from making a cleaner looking template for your description, because you have all the right information in here and can possibly benefit from adding some more keywords. But because it's all with these line breaks, I don't want to look at it and read it. Like you re-say the title area, then you have size 4, then you have the measurements, but you don't use the measurements. Like you don't say inches, you don't use the little quotation to mean inches, you just have numbers in there. I don't like the format of that. Then you have faux leather trim, noting a flaw, but you don't tell me the overall condition of the item. Then you have pockets all in caps. So I'm not a fan of the format of your description overall. It's not pleasing to the eye. So I think you need to relook at your description and make a small template. I highly recommend that for a lot of people, but for you especially, I think this is a good area that you can work on. I do have a listing template video that I linked for you here. So adding additional keywords and kind of covering all of these things, which I link in your summary here: length, neckline, sleeves, style, item type, fit, occasion, formality, print, texture, fabric, feel, weight, stretch, how you put it on, details, embellishments, color, etc. Those are all things that you can speak to in a more sentencey format. Then have it be more like a template where then you talk about all those keywords, you can give the size, then you can talk about the measurements, then you can talk about condition, then you can have a buyer confidence line. I do recommend a buyer confidence line, which I mentioned here, which is a line about offers welcome, heart for price drops, when you ship, which you say you're a fast shipper. That will help boost confidence. I link a video here if you want more information on that. I am happy that you include the measurements. However, I don't like the format of them, as I said. You're not saying inches, you're not putting the quotation mark, so it's just kind of like there. What I would say is that you may benefit from doing the photo ready measurements form, which is what I do. Now, you don't have to buy mine in the Etsy shop. You can make your own, of course, and you just write the measurements on here and then take a photo of it. And that way it's in the photos, and then it's not in your description at all. And all you have to do is say measurements in photos, and then they can refer to the photos and see the picture of the form. So that might be an area that you want to do to make things a little bit easier, because it saves you time. You don't have to type everything out, and it saves you characters in the description. I do think you should go back and fix pretty much any of the items that you're going to keep in your store and that you're not going to put on a clearance sale or remove. I think you should go back and fix these descriptions, because I really do feel like for the people that want to read a description and know what you're saying about the item, it's very all over the place, and I think that could help you with more sales. Now, I don't want to forget anything. Okay, you did put things here like, okay, so you're reiterating things at the bottom, which I think you're trying to make like tags so that you can add additional keywords. Like you have Club Monaco, black and white striped, mini skirts, pockets, but you're repeating a lot of things, and repetition does not help in SEO. If anything, it can hurt you because it confuses. And so you don't need to say pockets all those times. You don't need to say Club Monaco over and over again. You have black and white all in caps, and then you have it not in caps. So I don't think any of that is helpful to you. I think if you wanted to put, fit and flare skirt, horizontal stripes, black and white, comma, side zip, all of the different things that you want to add in there, that's fine. But repeating the same stuff, caps, no caps, this and that is not helping at all. Okay, sorry. Let's see. Description, condition. So on this one, you did not specifically say the condition, but you did say that there was a slight indent from the hanger, and thank you for disclosing that. That is important. But you did not give an overall sense of the condition. So what I always recommend and what I say is excellent condition with no flaws. Then I would say excellent overall condition with slight indent from the hanger on the faux leather. And that way they know overall it's fine, but there is this flaw. And so I feel like that gives buyers confidence as well. Measurements, this, okay. Solds, because I do recommend letting your solds be your guide. This is something I've kind of said several times in Poshmark closet reviews. Let's go to your solds. So here we go. I noticed when going through them, you've got some J. Crew, you've got some Lucky Brand, you have lots of jeans in here, you have lots of Lauren, Ralph Lauren, you have good prices for some things, you have poor prices for other things, but in general, I think they're on target. And so go in to your solds from time to time and really see what's selling for you and at what prices, and know about, are the things with stock photos selling? Are the things with the flat lay selling? Are shoes selling more? What's selling for you? The items that have the background removed versus not. You know, here you have the We the Free high rise, $38. Premium, that's great. That's a great sale. Can we do more of that? Can we do less of the Old Navy top that you only got $12 for? You did the same amount of work for both. So really going through and looking and seeing what are your solds telling you. So I think you have some great solds, and I think you can continue to fine tune your inventory so that you have more and more of those better solds. So that's my thought there. Last shared, phone's ringing. Let's just hope that what am I doing? Let's hope that's like not my son's school. I think it would come up as his school is named in my phone, so it should be fun. It's probably just spam. Last update 11 seconds ago. So it looks like you are currently sharing, so that's good. When I went before, you had shared within the last 30 minutes. So that tells me that you are frequently sharing, which is great. And one of the items that I was going to say is that with those lower end items that you have, if you are putting a lot of work into sharing, you're listing, you're going back and editing your photos, you're taking out the background, you're doing all the right things, I can feel that you're putting in the effort, then you need to consider those lower end things, because you keep putting time and effort into them by sharing or editing or whatever, and they're only going to ever yield you so much. So I think do a 5 for 25 sale or something, or just get rid of them. Have a garage sale, sell them off for $1, things like that, and just make a clean break, and then concentrate on putting good, solid items in your store that are worth your time and effort. I hate to see you wasting time. Answering questions. So I looked on several listings. I have this one open. I didn't see any unanswered questions. I didn't see many questions at all. And I think this is worth making the point for those watching. When you put measurements in, when you do a good title and description and provide a good amount of information, you don't get as many questions. And when you don't put measurements in, don't put a lot of good information, are vague with your photos, and don't put a lot of photos, then you're going to get more questions. So I do really feel, and that's just the people that feel comfortable enough to ask the question. So I do think that there's something to making a very comprehensive listing that cuts down on all of that nonsense. Bundle discount. So here's the thing. I didn't see any bundle discount. Tina, what's going on there? Why not offer a bundle discount to your buyers? I recommend 20% off of 2 items. That's what I do. It doesn't affect people making more offers to you. They can make a deeper discount offer. You can make a deeper discount offer, but some people don't want to do that. Some people just want to say, I want to bundle 2 items. I want a little discount, and I call it a day, and they buy at 3 a.m. And I want them to buy at 3 a.m. So I have a bundle discount on. Make it as easy as you can for your buyer. The thing I say every time is give them every reason to buy and no reasons not to buy. Like, I need that. That's going to go on my gravestone. So that's my big saying, is give them every reason to buy and give them no reasons not to buy. So let's get to your final impressions. And I do like to read this because I wanted to go through and give you everything that I put here, and for those at home to know as well. I think your closet looks great visually, and I can tell that you're trying and are a good seller. I do think you have some areas for improvement. Mostly, I believe that you have a lot of items and have done a lot of work, but most of your items are just okay. Maybe they will sell, maybe they won't. I really think you should focus on not just putting anything in your closet, even if it's free. That doesn't mean that it will sell. and you have done all this work and are just storing it. Focus on items, brands, styles that people want to buy and give them a great deal on it. The next most important area for improvement would be in the listing description so that it is more of a pleasant buyer experience. A template with sentences will go a long way. I would run a 5 for 25 sale or some kind of sale like that to clearance out all the lower end, older style items, and then have a smaller, fresher closet that you can add awesome items to with your new template. So, do I know that having all of the lower end, older style items, is it bringing you down? No, but you're storing them when you could be storing something better. You're sharing them when you could be sharing something better. You're revising them when you could be revising something better. So that's why they are costing you. Plus, if you can clearance them out in some way, get some small money back, so kind of recouping your investment and then using that to funnel it into more Lucky Brand jeans, more Express dress, just things that are, more J. Crew. I like selling bread and butter brands. I think bread and butter brands are great. If you can get higher end, great. If you can do more shoes, great. If you can do more jeans, great. But just more things that are not poof or not paper crane. And even Liz Claiborne. I broke away from Liz Claiborne a long time ago. I mean, unless you're trying to do a real vintage vibe and it's a certain kind of piece or something, then maybe. But I really feel like you could take a hard look at a lot of your items and say, for me to improve, for me to make better sales, I'm going to part with this item. And cut your losses if there is a loss there. Hopefully there isn't, and you move on from it. And I wish you nothing but the best, Tina. Thank you so much for purchasing the closet review. For those that are watching, thank you so much for watching. This is your first time here. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm a full-time or semi-full-time reseller, and I talk about how to increase your Poshmark sales and Poshmark tips and tricks and what's sold on Poshmark here. Like the video on the way out and leave a comment and say hi. Thank you again, Tina. I wish you all the best for more and more sales. Take care. Bye.